I wouldn't necessarily go to a brewery, see a pepper beer, and order it.
Inspired by the adventures of our nurses, therapists, and techs, A Beer with Atlas is the only healthcare traveling, craft beer drinking podcast. Each week, we'll open a few beers, talk about the brewery and the style of beer, and then dive into some research curated specifically for each episode. In the end, we hope each one sounds like a conversation you'd have with your friends while enjoying a few cold ones.
Welcome to another episode of A Beer with Atlas. I'm Rich.
I'm Brian.
I'm Dolan.
Going back to Colorado this week, Dolan brought these back for us.
Yeah.
Tell me the story.
Okay, so we were in Colorado for my wife's birthday. My grandparents live in South Park. The area is called South Park. So it's Fairplay, Hartselle, Buena Vista, and Salida. That's all kind of in the same area, just west up the mountains from Colorado Springs.
Yeah.
It's about an hour and a half from Colorado Springs.
I actually wrote that down. Where is Salida, Colorado? West of Colorado Springs, just outside of Gunnison National Forest.
Yep.
Now we know.
Now you know.
Now we know.
Soulcraft Brewing.
And actually, it's so in Salida, there's some hot springs. We went and visited there.
Really?
So we sat in the hot springs and everything, and it's all natural, hot, and it's actually kind of cool because there's like different spots of the river that like you can see the heat coming up from the ground.
Really?
And then you can create, like, you move the rocks around, you can create your own pool, or there's like pools there that they have like they look like swimming pools.
Yeah.
That they've just taken the hot water from, and so they naturally heat it and stuff like that.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's always moving in and out. It's clean. It's super, super awesome. You get sunburnt really easy. Doesn't matter winter, summer, no matter what. Like
You're in the mountains.
You're in the mountains.
Right.
So we went there, and then we decided to go to Salida for some food. I guess there's some walking trails around the river that we wanted to check out.
Walking. Schmocking.
Walking.
As long as the end of the walking trail ends up at a brewery, I think
Yep.
I'm okay.
All right.
And this brewery wasn't in that area. We had to drive a little bit, but it was definitely worth it. And the view there is awesome. They have a food truck there, so you can order the beers inside, and you can go out to their patio, drink the beers, eat the food. And you can see the mountains from where you're sitting. It's all around awesome brewery.
So Soulcraft Brewing is located at 248 West Rainbow Boulevard, Salida, Colorado.
Yeah.
So there you go. I honestly, I've never been there. That seems too far south and west for me. I'm more north and east, but
So are we getting close to desert Colorado here?
ironically, that's where the chili parts comes from.
Oh, okay.
So
Yep.
this is our first pepper beer.
Ever?
We had Hot as Hellas. Is that a pepper beer?
But did we? Okay, we did as part of like with a bunch of others.
No, it was its own episode.
Was it?
Yeah, it was producer's choice, and I brought in Hot as Hellas.
Well, but then was that it?
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a whole episode on it.
Well, Bobby
Imagine that. He brought us another hot and spicy.
Bobby and Scott don't count, so they don't count.
I think they canned some of that today, actually, by the way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
nice.
could
Pretty
see
sure.
that going. Hours Sunday through Wednesday 11 to 8, Thursday, Friday, Saturday 11 to 9. 5.5%, 24 IBUs. It's a blonde ale brewed with roasted poblano and serrano chili. No, wait. I'm sorry. Roasted Pueblo
In Serrano.
and serrano chilies. Serranos are hot. Like, I have roasted my own serranos before and regretted it.
They're hotter than a jalapeno, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
They will burn your eyes. They burn your fingers.
And your butt.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes you
day.
can get those at a really good Mexican restaurant. You can get the Serranos roasted instead of the jalapenos.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like to say that I like hot food.
Yeah? You don't. I've seen video proof of this.
I don't know. There's been some spicy things that
Ooh, that smells.
you enjoy.
It smells like peppers.
It does.
Yep.
I always say, and this will probably change my mind today, but my favorite kind of pepper beer is one that uses Anaheims. because it tastes like peppers and it's not that hot.
Oh, and it's not hot. Okay.
Yes. So when we get past the jalapeno on the old scale, you know, what is it called?
Scoville.
Scoville.
Yeah, it just gets painful for me.
I met Dan from Kincaidor.
Dan the Wiser.
Yep. I met him at a bar here in town, and they were when they first introduced Devil's Gap, and I was there with Steve Seidner, and we were eating chicken wings, and he was like, "Hey, we just introduced this beer, or whatever. You want to give it a try?" I'm like, "Nah, those beers aren't for me." He's like, "You're eating chicken wings. You should try it." Fantastic.
Wow.
So the only thing I think I might be missing from this would be some chicken wings.
Okay.
Nice.
I don't know.
I just 2 nights ago had with chicken the Devil's Gap raspberry.
I bet that was good.
Yeah.
The raspberry
Sweet and
does a
spicy.
really nice job of cutting through, but
Yeah.
still giving you some spice.
Do you have this research? Where does the name Soulcraft come from?
I do.
Hit me. Oh, they're calling it in right now.
They're calling it right now. They're calling this. Bad Brains, 1977.
Another music tie-in.
Weird. Isn't
Wow.
that weird? How
That's a band that not a lot of people reference or anything.
reggae? What is? Okay, here we go. I wrote this down because I thought this was interesting. They are funk, metal, hip hop, and soul all mashed into one.
So I would say that that's kind of accurate, yeah.
Widely regarded as the pioneers of hardcore punk. They don't like that moniker at all.
Yeah, I
They
know.
hate that, which is fine. They've gone through a couple different lead singers. They've gone through a different, but anyway, they are as Rastafari like punk as you could possibly get.
It's a weird combo, that's for sure.
Just last week we were talking about skateboarding. I would skate to Bad Brains.
Oh, yeah, you'd have to.
Yes.
That was part of the lifestyle, was the tunes
Yes.
while you were skating.
Oh, and they are great. Just do yourself a favor, like hit pause and go look up Bad Brains on Spotify and just listen to a couple of their songs. It's
They're pretty fast.
it's
They're
different
short.
than anything you've ever heard. Like it is really,
Yeah.
really different.
Yeah, that's true.
But man, imagine yourself on a skateboard with your hair flowing back and you're 17 years old. That's the shit right there.
Well, be better if you were skating with this beer, probably. but
Okay, well maybe that's true. I didn't say we weren't drinking.
Just
We
not
just
this
weren't
beer.
drinking this beer.
Sure. Back in the old days.
Right.
Here's some of the other beers I wrote down for them that I thought sounded kind of cool. A cherry lime haze. That's a sour beer.
Oh,
Any sort of limeade combination is always good for
I'll
me.
take it. Yep.
Sentimental, an old school IPA. So I assume West Coast. So hoppy, a lot of IBUs. And then this one is not a style we've ever done before or even talked about. Kumori, a Japanese style white ale brewed with yuzu. Y-U-Z-U.
Oh.
So a Japanese style white is very similar to a Belgian white. So think of a Blue Moon kind of.
Yep.
There is a brewery that makes Japanese white beers that comes here. You can get it as an owl on the label, but they're imports and they're kind of expensive and usually buy them in a single bottle, not a 6-pack. So
All right. Have you tried this beer yet?
no, I'm scared. It smells.
Try it.
Try it.
Because I'm going to give you my take. I want you to try it. You've drank it already.
Yeah, and I actually drank it back on a what did I do? In Atlas Eats. I got
Yes.
what did I get? I don't remember. Mexican food.
From De Leon's?
From
Was it there?
No.
Oh, the taco place.
So I got tacos from Taco Del Rey.
Yep.
Taco Del Rey. I did a Taco Tuesday. It would have been about
With this beer.
last year.
Yep.
Around April of 2020. I did a Taco Tuesday, and I drank this beer with the tacos. Fantastic together. Was not expecting how spicy this beer is.
But here's the thing. It's not. It is.
I'm going to guess it's going to build on us, huh?
Well, I can feel it,
It's in your throat,
but it's
Yeah,
not
I can
like
feel it.
Okay, so hot as Hellas, right?
right?
You instantly feel it back in your throat. Mm-hmm. It makes you want to cough.
Hiccup.
Right.
That's what happens to me.
When I get really spicy food makes me hiccup. This flavor is
Awesome. The flavor is amazing.
awesome.
I mean, it tastes like
Roasted-
pepper skin. Like I
roasted,
feel like that's
yep.
in my mouth.
yes,
Yep.
like the green. It just tastes green.
Yep.
I don't even know how to explain that. Anybody that enjoys jalapenos bell peppers, that type of thing.
Yeah, poblanos or
On the grill.
That's the flavor.
the fire roasted salsa.
How they did that, I don't know. Wow.
They probably roast them and throw them in there.
Just wow.
Get that skin.
I fully expected to cough and be embarrassing about this.
You did okay.
I'll drink this whole thing.
All right.
Look, the can has a pepper and flames, and that's exactly what it tastes like.
And it has wings because you're going to go to heaven when you're done.
I don't know.
All right, it'll be a good trip.
Yeah.
There we go.
I'm sad there isn't more of them.
I wrote down this. They had snacks at this place.
Snacks. They do.
Pickle jar. House-made dill pickles.
Oh, I didn't see that.
That
when I
would be
was
good
there.
with this. I'm telling you what.
It would be.
Yeah.
Bloody
Bavarian
Mary.
pretzel. That
Yes.
sounds pretty good.
Oh, without a doubt.
Okay.
And then truffle parm fries. Okay, I'm always a fan of those.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And then they had actual food, grub, it said. Green chili quesadilla.
Yep.
That'd be bomb.
Yes.
Euros.
I didn't see the Euro when I was there.
And then this is for the native Coloradoans, right? The quinoa and buckwheat
Okay.
bowl.
Oh, that's very Colorado.
Yeah, that's for them.
Yeah.
Give me the quesadilla or the Euro.
They had green chili burgers when I was there out of the
Dude,
food truck.
what's the green hatch pepper?
Hatch chili.
That's
Yeah.
what it kind of reminds me of. There's a little
Yeah.
bit of that.
Yep.
If you go to Untapped and just read the description for this beer, this is what it says. And I didn't think. I guess you're getting down close to the Four Corners, right? So you're
Yeah.
getting right. You're
By
getting
Durango-ish.
Yes.
Okay, makes sense.
Many people know Colorado for its majestic beauty, but not many know of the deep affection for chilies. Most of the most coveted are the Pueblo chilies. This Green Chile Ale captures all of the love of fresh roasted chilies. A deep roasted aroma greets you, and a wonderful chili flavor follows. Serrano chilies are added to create a bright flavor and heat. English hops provide a light bitterness and floral note to let the chilies shine through. The finish is a crisp and slightly spicy. Enjoy with breakfast, lunch, or dinner.
Well, you have to think too. Like at this point, you're halfway between Santa Fe and Denver.
Yes.
So
It's
you're
going to be
getting-
in the culture. For
You're,
sure.
you're getting best of both worlds. I'm telling you, every small town around that area, Jefferson City, Hartselle, they've all got like a small place where they do hatch chilies or Pueblo
Yeah.
chilies, right? There's a pizza place in Hartselle, and I'm talking like there's like 50 people that live in this town, right? I'm exaggerating, but it feels that way.
Okay.
So super small.
Super small. And they've got a pizza place that just opened up. It's super awesome, so good. But yeah, hatch chilies, Pueblo chilies, like anywhere on anything.
It brings me back to why we do this in the first place, right? We started talking about this 2 years ago because the traveling nurses that send us all these beers that talk about this when they find these little places like you just said,
Yeah,
right? The little pizza place that nobody would ever go to unless you were in town.
Right.
That type of thing. Like you're going to find the most amazing things and make the most amazing memories at those places.
I'm going to jump on your bandwagon a little bit, but I'm also going to correct something. It's actually 3 years.
Ooh.
Because I've been here 3 years
Have
now.
we been doing this 3 years?
We started the first one my first week. So I've been here 3 years.
Wow. Okay. The other day we made a
Yeah.
video,
The top 5 IPAs.
top 5
you go.
IPAs, and
Has it been?
we couldn't figure out if it was 2 years or 1 year.
I had my 3-year anniversary.
Look,
It's been 3 years.
just this morning as I was driving into work, I was listening about you vomiting nachos underneath your
That
bed
happened
in
Chicago,
in Bloomington, Illinois. So I don't know.
I think that the description that you read from is very accurate to what it tastes like.
That's
like sometimes
exactly-
you don't get anything, no description really. It just says like, we like making hazy IPAs. Like that's their whole thing.
Right.
This is like they tasted it and they thought about it and they put it in there. And that's, if you read that and you don't like what that sounds like, then don't buy this beer because it's exactly what it says it is.
Right.
Well, fun fact: these cans that I brought back, right? They were on a rack on sale. They were 50% off because they were about to go bad or the cans got damaged. I can't remember the reason, but yeah, they had like a ton of these on a rack and they were like 50% off.
I seriously just texted a picture of my brother because my brother lives in Centennial.
Okay.
So not far. It would take him an hour and a half maybe to get to Salida.
Well, I mean, anywhere over there is about 45 minutes to an hour because
Yes.
you're going around and up and down the valley. Like,
Right.
these are mountain towns,
Yeah.
And
There's
he's-
no straight.
He's asked me a few times, have you had this beer yet? Because he would bring it to me.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
because they like Soulcraft a lot. This
Yeah.
is one of the breweries they go to.
Okay.
And I just sent it to him like, this is just wow.
Yeah. It's real good.
Wow. Founded by Mike LaCroix.
Okay.
Didn't find a year. LaCroix, not the... No.
The
Okay.
drink. Okay.
No. Here's what he said. The name is something I've been thinking about for a while now, years in fact. The name initially came from a Bad Brains song, Soulcraft. To me, the song and the lyrics represent a way of life, being grateful and striving to be your best.
Yeah.
Yep.
If you're not trying to be the best, then what's the point?
Then what's the point? Yeah. So, I mean, dude's right on. I didn't find a year that he was that this started or whatever.
Yeah.
Quite honestly, it doesn't matter. This is, if we had to drink a chili beer, this is what I would want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What other beers do they have? What kind of style? Other than the ones that we talked about. Sour, old school IPA. Do they make like hazies or wheats or anything like that?
They
do you know?
they were all across the spectrum when I was there. I
Nice.
mean, there was browns, there was stouts. They had a coffee stout that I had I believe it was just called coffee stout.
There you go.
It was super, super good. That was Sam's favorite. They had a cherry porter.
Ooh, nice.
That was pretty bomb.com. And then I ended up having a Mexican lager. I can't remember which one it is. They had two Mexican lagers. There was one amber and one not like regular,
Yeah.
right? And that one was really, really good. That one was probably my favorite. But a lot of Mexican names in their
Sure.
beers. I mean, it makes
Southern
sense for
influence,
Southern
right?
California or Southern Colorado.
Yeah.
I mean, not many places make two different kinds of Mexican lagers. You're
Right.
lucky to get one. So, yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Right.
Well, yeah, and that was pretty awesome. That was the one I started with actually, and made me go, oh damn, let's get a flight, let's try it all. You know,
They had one, and my brother has had it, and he's not a Pilsner guy at all. They have one called Sticky Pills, which Colorado, right? Sticky.
Sure, yeah. It's-
Right.
There's
yeah.
definitely a weed reference there or whatever, but it's not. Like they use Hallertau hops. But it has that kind of smell to it, or whatever that would draw someone that's seeking that sort of beer out. Clean, good Pilsner.
Yeah.
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 And then I can't remember what other beer I brought back from there, but it was also on that 50% rack. I think it was just can damage. Like they said that the tote fell and some of the cans
Yeah.
dented. So I don't know.
I'll still drink it.
Yeah, it was really good.
The only other thing I wrote down about Bad Brains, which going back to music, because that's such a part of what we do here. Anyway, what we talk about, 1990, Bad Brains collaborated with Henry Rollins, which, okay, fine, that's enough for me right there, on a song called Kick Out the Jams, which appeared on Pump Up the Volume, the movie.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
Oh.
Oh, man.
Kick out the jams, motherfuckers! Yeah! I'm gonna kick it out! Yeah!
I'm just thinking about how, even to this day, scary and aggressive Henry Rollins looks. You know, like if you were to see him on the street, you wouldn't go
Yes.
up to him, probably. You might, because you know him, but
Well, yes.
who he is. But if you didn't know who he was, you'd stay away.
Do you remember the it was the clip on Beavis and Butthead?
Oh, yeah.
'Cause I'm a liar.
Oh, yeah.
Right? And
Yeah.
that's what made him kind of
Yeah.
that launched him.
Yeah.
Black Flag aside, right? I mean, that launched him into
Well, a lot of people didn't even know he was in that.
no.
Yeah.
Right.
Drummer for one of my bands, Mike Catrone. He's I guess, I don't know if metal is the right word, but he reminds me of Henry Rollins in his physical stature. He's like a taekwondo instructor, and he's got gray short hair. Sometimes it grows out. He's a teacher up here in Omaha, and just a straight up badass. And we played a show one time at Bob's Tavern in Lincoln, and we were playing there, and I'm singing, doing my thing, front man, channeling Jim Morrison, got my eyes closed kind of. I feel something go past me. I look, what was that? It was Mike, our drummer. He got up mid-song because some dude was harassing his wife in the crowd. And he went out and took care of him and then came back and played the rest of the song. So he always reminds me of Henry Rollins. So that's kind of funny.
You gotta take care of your shit.
He will take care of everybody's shit. That's for sure. And he'll teach you how to take care of yours too.
Nice. Yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome.
If there was a beer that I hadn't looked forward to, it was probably this one. And I'm so wrong on so many levels.
I like it. It's good.
If I had some chicken wings, this is a 5 all day long
With a sweet glaze. Oh, you know what I mean? Just a
Chili.
little sweetness.
A little brown
Chili.
sugar,
Yeah.
maybe. Yep.
Yeah, I have one can in my fridge that I've been saving for winter, so that way when we make our first batch of chili,
Put it in there, yeah.
I'm gonna dump it in there.
Well, here's where we're going research-wise. You kind of hinted at it a little bit.
Okay.
When I saw that, I was like, yep, we're going to do it. The history of LaCroix.
Ah,
Because I saw the guy's name, and I was like, ding, ding, here we go.
Thank you, Mike.
Founded in 1981 by the Wisconsin company G. Heilman Brewing Company. So
The guys that do old style?
it might be.
That's old style.
they do LaCroix.
In 1981, they sure did.
Really?
Oh,
And then they were purchased by the National Beverage Corporation in 2002.
okay.
So their logo was also then redesigned, and it's been the same ever since. So you know what LaCroix looks like,
Yep.
right?
Yes.
All right, so the research really that I did was on the logo of LaCroix and the can look. The logo was meant to show water and movement.
Yeah.
So you're supposed to you're gonna know what you get when you look at the can, I guess. Multicolored layers allowed to code per flavor, so they could just drop in black cherry or lime or whatever. So it's easy for them on that end. They had kind of 3 different designs that they liked the best, and they did what do you call it when you market survey, I suppose. Brought in people off the street, and they're like, okay, which one do you like? And the one that everybody liked was the one that the management group and the people that designed it was their least favorite. And that's what everybody liked, and that's what they went with. So apparently the public knows more than the designer. I don't know. It's been the same ever since. That says, this is one of the things I read. There was an expert in logos and design, right? So he says, the logo type is not especially well crafted. The pattern and the cans look like a love child of Monet and Grandma Moses. So Monet, watercolor painter, he's famous. Grandma Moses was one of the most famous. What's the term? There's a term for it. So it's like someone that makes a lot of paintings, but they're not professional, very amateur.
Okay.
So unskilled, untrained, but they just make a lot of paintings.
Yep.
And her paintings sell for thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. She made a lot of them. So that combined is what this guy says their logos and labels look like. Color bleaching. We've talked about this a lot in beer labels and shelf space. When people were walking down the aisle, that grabbed your eye, especially in 2002. Kind of was a throwback to the 90s, it looked like to me. And it still does, which is coming around always again, it seems like.
Yeah.
So that was one of the reasons it was designed was to catch your eye, and it seems to do that. Another quote says, LaCroix's packaging defies all the rules of design, given that the logo is barely legible over that swirling hangover puke. So they vomited on the can, slapped the name on there, and people buy it.
Yeah.
Optimistic Color Fest with a faux French name. That's another thing that somebody has said about LaCroix. Which, I don't know, maybe. I'm not a big drinker of it. I'm not a fan.
I am.
Dolan is.
Yeah.
Yep.
Originally, back in the 80s, they had 6 flavors. Now there's 27,
Wow.
which I did not know. There are 12 production facilities in the United States that make this stuff. And that mostly pumped up from when that was bought out in 2002, because that was central, Wisconsin, Michigan area, and now it's like coast to coast, kind of like a small version of Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
or Budweiser. They built in transportation to their warehouses, so they actually would have like trucks and stuff in their place, so they wouldn't have to pay somebody to ship it for them. So it saved them like actual costs of like transporting their stuff. And they would just deliver it directly from their warehouses that are across the country.
Yep.
So it gets there faster. So they usually don't run out of stuff. There's no wait time. They just call up their local representative, kind of like what we have in the craft beer industry. Your guy at Founders or whatever, call them and say, I need this order.
Yep.
That's kind of how they were built. So they were kind of designed ahead of the time as far as what craft beer does now. They kind of did that 20 years ago, which is kind of cool. So I wrote down these, just kind of some sales stats. The other thing I didn't want to say before we get that, because there's one of these in Lincoln. Because they had all these production facilities and all across the country, they didn't have to like negotiate or pay independent bottlers, which in Lincoln there's one that makes like 7-Up and Dr. Pepper, that sort of stuff. It's almost like a contract brewer. So since they owned all these places across the country, they didn't have to pay that, so that also saved on costs. So that was something that was kind of ahead of the time. 2005 to 2018, they had double-digit growth in sales every year. Boom, 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 boom. That's pretty great.
Okay.
In 2019, the article I read said they decided to play a game of chicken. And they didn't want to, they were like losing some market share, I guess, to other sparkling waters and stuff. And they said, well, we're not going to change anything. We're not going to do anything different. We're going to stay the course.
Yep.
And they only increased in sales 4% that year. And it's kind of gone down since then.
4% is still respectable.
I would say, but it's not 13 or 20% like they were used to.
Okay.
You know what's cool about this whole thing? Like, in this area of Colorado, it's like sparkling mineral water exists naturally, right? So if you go a little bit northeast in a town called Manitou Springs, which is just west of Colorado Springs, they have a natural drinking fountain that comes right off the river that runs through there. And if you taste it, it kind of tastes like LaCroix, like sparkling water without any fruity,
no flavor. Yeah.
without any fruity flavor. Yeah, so it's straight just sparkling mineral water. Right? And it's filled with it all in this area from where this beer's from.
I mean, that was 130 years ago. People were going out west to these areas to heal themselves because it was magic water. And every place where they'd find it, they'd build like a hotel above it. And they'd make a bathtub or a swimming pool, or they would bottle it, and they would sell it as like tonic and elixir. And, it was just snake oil, really. But
people would flock to that.
Oh, yeah. Which is kind of cool. And it still is in the whole mix of, tourism and stuff.
Yeah.
The last thing I was going to say, increase in 2019, as far as the whole market, went up 13%. And that's kind of tied into the seltzer crash and craze that we are seeing now.
Right.
So it was going up and up and up. Bubbly, you know that brand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Owned by Pepsi.
Bubbly.
In
Bubbly.
20...
Which is a genius marketing thing.
Yes,
right?
it is.
The fact that Michael Bublé actually agreed to this is fantastic.
So we were talking about they were happy or not, maybe not happy, but they saw a 4% increase, LaCroix. The same year, I think, 2019, Bublé, how much did they grow?
200%.
I would say a ton, yes.
216%.
Yes.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
That is nuts to me. That is nuts.
I believe it, though, because they really did come out of nowhere. Like, whenever Bublé did that commercial, it was just like...
It was a Super Bowl ad, wasn't it?
Boom.
It was
Might have been.
It was Super Bowl, and then all of a sudden just
all of a sudden,
off.
bubblies were everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess if you like that, and maybe that's why I'm not a seltzer guy.
Yep.
Because of the Bublés. That is in there. But I thought that was interesting. All that stuff, because it is an iconic look. The label and the logo, and it's cool that it hasn't changed. I'm hoping maybe we can link to this in the drop that we do. There's a song that came out maybe 2 or 3 years ago called LaCroix Boy.
LaCroix Boy.
That is fantastic, and it's just this dude that's in love with LaCroix. It's very great. So check that one out. It's on YouTube.
So I started looking up G. Heilman, right? Because that's Wisconsin,
Yeah.
Illinois.
Is it
like,
mayonnaise maker?
it is. They're brewers. So
Okay.
they've been brewers since 1858.
Holy crow.
Wow.
And this is shocking. I didn't know this. I would love to do old style. We should do old style, maybe as dad beers or something like that.
Okay.
Maybe we do or whatever.
Are we going to just do an old style episode?
We could. So
Cubs beer.
Old Style's been around since 1858. They've owned Kingsbury Brewery, Duluth Brewing Company, Jacob Schmidt. So if you've had Schmidt's,
Yeah, that's old school.
okay, Rainier.
Oh, I've had Rainier.
Yep.
And Yellowstone, actually.
Stag.
I've had that.
You've had
Yeah.
Stag. Carling. You've had Carling before.
Is it
You
with
know
a K?
you know the label. No, with the C. C-A Carl I-N-G. Carling.
Maybe.
You've had. I know you have. Pabst.
Oh,
They
yeah.
owned Pabst for a while.
Yep.
And Lone Star.
I've drank a lot of Lone Star.
Absolutely. Here's some of the brands that they've either owned or distributed. Old Style, Braumaster,
Yep.
Blatz, Schmidt, Sterling, Rainier, Beck's, Carling, Colt 45, LaCroix, Lone Star, and Hacker Shore.
Hacker Shore?
They were the exclusive provider of Hacker Shore, and it doesn't say. It just says 1986 to dash.
So maybe it's current.
Maybe it's current. Maybe they are
That's
the
how we're getting
current
at?
distributor for Hacker Shore. I don't know. So, I mean, if you want to tie that back to beer,
Yeah.
these guys are as old school as it gets.
That's pretty cool. Because it's almost like a mirror of where we're at now, but they were doing it 2002.
And then if you want to come sit with me in the right center field bleachers at Wrigley,
Yeah.
we can drink some Old Styles.
Oh, yeah.
And they're delicious.
They are pretty good on a hot day.
Right.
That can hasn't changed much either over time.
No, not one bit. And that's fine with me. And the taste hasn't changed at all either.
Yeah.
So,
It's not great.
again, Dolan. I thought this would be a Dolan episode.
Yeah.
Right? I thought this would be all about him or whatever. This beer's great. This is really, really good.
I will say you can't. Well, you could probably, but I wouldn't recommend it. Slamming this.
No.
You go ahead and just take your time. Now, I did want the other thing I was going to do for research, and I went with LaCroix instead because of the beer tie-in. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do like the history of pinstriping, like on cars.
Oh yeah.
Because you see the flames on the can.
Yep.
That looks like 100% like auto detailing pinstriping.
Yes.
Very cool. So I thought about that, but we went with LaCroix.
I'm sure we'll find like
his name was Exhibit. He had this show called Pimp My Ride.
Oh, Exhibit.
Exhibit.
X is going to give it to you.
Yep.
I think I said that. Yeah.
Well,
Just
someday
kidding.
we'll do a beer from LA, right?
Yeah.
And there'll be a lowrider tie-in, and that's what we'll
We
get.
can do it. Okay.
Without a
Yeah.
doubt.
Pinstriping. All right. We'll do it sometime.
TripAdvisor, 4.5 out of 5 reviews on 4.5 out of 5 on 50 reviews.
What's the lowest TripAdvisor we've had, do you think? Because they all feel like they're around 4, 5.
Yeah, 3.5. We've had some 3.5s.
Have we? Okay.
This is the number 7 thing to do out of 35 things in Salida, Colorado.
Wow.
So number
That's
7.
pretty good.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. And
Maybe number 1 for me, but that's just
Well, I mean,
me.
my
genetics.
We are craft beer guys. I would specifically seek out
Yeah.
something like
look,
this.
because it's so close to Buena Vista and the hot springs there's a lot of things happening downtown.
Yeah.
It was a really cool town. Like they had the skate park right next to
Throwback.
there's a concert bar there where you can get food and stuff, and the skate park was legitimately in the back alley, so you could listen to the band and skate if you wanted. And like I said, that river that runs right through downtown, it's like a huge park, and there's walking trails that go all around there with just amazing
cool.
views.
Nice.
And you've never been here?
No. I've never been down
yeah.
there. Now,
Yeah, you gotta go.
my brother, on the other hand, has been multiple
Yeah.
times. I'll go with him
Right.
at some point.
Okay.
But yes.
And downtown is such a shopping hub. Like there's so many local
Mom and
businesses.
poppers, yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
I
Like,
love that
that's
stuff.
the best part about going on like on a vacation is that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So The one that I clipped out of TripAdvisor said August of 2020, which I think is fine. I mean, we're in the
Recent-ish, yes.
right heart of COVID or whatever. He says, we've lived in Colorado for 11 years, and Soulcraft is by far our favorite brew pub overall. Even though they are 2 hours away, we sometimes drive over an hour to have a beer, and that's good. And they just keep getting better. Happy hours from 3 to 6, 25% off the largest size in that particular beer that you want. No longer $2 off, no matter the size. The food truck is a permanent fixture outside. Not a lot of choices, but pretty good food. So, good beers, food truck.
Yep.
What else do you want?
And listen,
view.
there's really good breweries just 30 minutes away in Buena Vista. I mean, you got Eddie Line, and and like for somebody to say that, that's pretty good props.
Dude,
Yes.
I'm not driving 10 minutes to get a beer.
These
on
people are
purpose,
driving an hour.
both
Right.
ways. Yeah, no thank you.
And this is their favorite place to go.
Well, that's good.
It's
I mean,
awesome. I love their patio.
This thing has got amazing flavor. I just
love
can't
it.
get over the pepper flavor without the. I was so scared it was just going to burn the
Just
whole way down.
so much
like
heat.
drinking hot sauce.
Yes.
and it's not that way.
And it's not
It's
that.
hot in a good way.
It's like every drink you breathe out, I still get the fire,
Yeah.
but it doesn't last long.
You still get
No.
it. Yeah,
No.
you still get it.
Kind of clearing my sinuses, and I'm happy for that. I got allergies right now.
So, Untapped should not surprise you.
50. Oh, I was going to say
No.
super small.
2,473 check-ins. What do you think we're at? Based on everything we just said,
Have you checked this in?
I believe I have.
he has, yes, one time.
Discriminated.
He was drunk. It doesn't count.
All right.
I don't even remember what I
was
checked it
gonna
in.
say,
as.
what would you say now?
What would I say now?
Because sometimes tastes change over time.
I would give it a 3.75.
You gave it a 4 originally, but that's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
It's in the
That's
same
in range.
It's in the same
When you're at the
ballpark.
brewery drinking it from a
Tastes
tap
better.
versus from a
Yeah.
can,
It's just
totally
different
different.
experience. Okay. Because these were on the damage rack. The
right.
can was banged.
Yeah.
Whatever.
I mean, they didn't look bang. Mine doesn't look bang.
No, mine
Nope.
either.
Nope.
Tastes
So-
good. I'm going to say the overall score is 4.02.
I'm gonna go with 3.81 just because of last time.
377.
Okay.
But
It's still pretty good.
look, I wouldn't necessarily go to a brewery, see a pepper beer, and order it.
No.
No.
Right? So
There's a little bit of intimidation, right?
you're looking
Yeah.
for this, and it's still.
Yeah.
I think that's low, quite honestly. I think as a pepper beer goes, it's a 4.25
Ooh.
all day
Oh,
long.
wow.
This
Right?
might be the best pepper beer I've had. Because there's
Yes.
it's hot, but it's not burning me, and it tastes super good.
I-
You got a winner here, Dolan.
I'm sad there isn't more of these because, like Dolan said, I want to cook with them now.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I want to marinate some chicken. I want to put it in a chili. I want to.
This is too good
right?
for cooking. You got to drink this.
Well, yeah.
What's going on out here?
Carpet cleaning.
Oh, okay.
Annual carpet cleaning.
Got it. All right.
Yeah. You
I hear
that
it.
there?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was like,
here it
what is
goes.
happening?
It's a
I
good
thought
thing
that
that-
was my stomach with the peppers. I wasn't sure, but I think it's the carpet cleaner.
It's a good thing we're done. All right, fellas. We're not going anywhere for a while.
Let's have another beer.
Thank you for listening to A Beer with Atlas. Special thanks to our brand team for producing the show. Each episode of A Beer with Atlas is powered by Atlas MedStaff, an industry leader in travel healthcare staffing.